Hey guys, Lachlan and Anchique here, strength and conditioning coach from Newington College and currently interning at the Parramatta Eels Elite Pathways program. Today we're going to be running through a warm-up and how to implement a warm-up pre-game day and pre-training to make sure that you're the best prepared for game day and so that you prevent the chance of injury. The thing about cricket is it's a very specific sport with a very specific set of physical requirements. So you need to make sure that the things you do prior to doing whatever you do in cricket, whether you be a batter, bowler or wicket keeper, is specific to those requirements. First thing on game day, what I like to do is implement a small-sided game. It's just a good thing to get everybody switched on after we're waking up early in the morning. It's just a good thing to sort of promote that competitiveness between the players. So a game I like to play is just a knee tap game. So I've got my two volunteers here. What they're going to do is they're going to get in a nice athletic position. So they're just going to have, nice soft knees, bent at the hips, and the aim of the game is to tap the other person's knee. Simple as that. If you get tapped, they get a point. So Billy, he's just got a point now. So we're just going to get them to go for about 30 seconds. We'll start there. Alright, pause there. Right, so a game like this is really good for cricketers especially because it gets them in that athletic position that they're going to be in a lot of cricketing activities. So if they're in the slips there, they're going to be spending a lot of time here. If they're batting, they're going to be spending a lot of time in that position as well. So it's really good for actually getting them switched on in some more specific positions. What I like to play is the cone grab game. So I'm going to get them set up just as they were before. And I'm going to put a cone in the middle. I'm going to instruct them to start with their hands on their knees. So guys, hands on your knees. And I'm going to say different body parts, and as I say them, they're going to move their hands to those body parts. So I say shoulders, head, toes, ass, knees. If I say grab, they're going to grab the cone, okay? So head, shoulders, grab. And whoever wins is the person who grabs the cone, okay? So that's another one just to breed some competitiveness between the guys and get them a bit warmed up. Okay, so what we've got Nathan doing right here is the start of our dynamic stretching. So we're going to do this right after our small-sided games, and the purpose of this is just to get him limbered up. So we're not going to sit down and do some stretches and hold them for a really long time. We want to get switched on, not relax. So see here, he's going to be moving through some patterns that are going to get that thoracic rotation, so rotation of the upper back. He's going to be stretching out the hip flexors on the front of his leg, and he's going to be stretching out the glutes of the back of his leg. So the next exercise here is an inchworm. So what he's going to do, he's going to bend down, try to touch his toes, and as you can see here, he's going to walk his hands out until he's in a plank, and then he's going to walk his hands to his hand. Sorry, he walk his feet back to his hands. So a really good thing about this exercise is that when he's in that plank position, he's going to be really working the core and start switching that on, which is a really big part of cricket, just keeping ourselves stable and actually keeping that warm. We see a lot of side strains and fast bowlers and stuff like that, so it's good to have that nice and warm. As well as that, he's going to be getting a lot of movement overhead, which is where a lot of bowlers and stuff like that, and especially being such a huge throwing sport. Next exercise here is a side lunge. So all he's going to be doing is stepping to the side, popping the hip backwards, popping the knee forwards, and he's going to push onto that knee, and then he's going to push right back to standing position. So great thing about this exercise is going to be mobilizing the inside of his leg, his adductors, and he's going to be actually getting some loading through his glutes, his quads and all that to make sure that they're switched on to go. Okay, so after we've got ourselves like nice and limbered up, we're going to move into some more activation type things. This is to make sure that the muscles that we need to perform powerfully and strong for the whole game are switched on and ready to actually play. So what we're going to start with is some rotator cuff work. So the rotator cuff muscles are the ones that are sitting behind our shoulder blade and in and around the shoulder blade that decelerate our arm, so slow down our arm and are sort of acting as the brakes to our arms when we're throwing and bowling and stuff like that. So what we're going to start with is just a simple external rotation. So we're going to get Nate to get the handle in the other arm. All he's going to do is pin that shoulder back. He's just going to rotate his shoulder outwards just like that. Right, after that we're going to move into some stuff that's a bit more dynamic. So what we're going to have him do is row that to his chest, and for when he's there, he's going to grab that handle and rotate outwards. So he's not going to be pushing the shoulder forwards or letting it ride up using the top of his shoulder. He's just going to be pinning that shoulder backwards, getting into a nice strong position here and rotating outwards. So just going to give him a little bit just because it's a harder one. Yeah, so it's a difficult one. So he's going to let that shoulder blade come forward. He's going to pinch backwards. So you see that he's doing a little bit of compensation through the shoulder. We see a little bit of shrug in the shoulder poking forward a little bit. When we're in that row, we're thinking about letting that shoulder blade move forward and then using the muscles of our back to pull it backwards, getting into a position here and then using them to keep that shoulder backwards. Alright, now moving from our activation, we're going to move some more specific stuff. This will be especially good for our bowlers who need to be hitting really high speeds, getting towards the crease when they're bowling. We know from some research and stuff like that, that getting really high speeds, getting towards the run-up is a really good indicator of speed. So we've got him here doing a pause high knee. So this is one of 3 exercises that we're going to be doing. He's hitting that nice strong position, getting the toe up, driving that position. And he's going to be pausing nice and strong in one position, holding that and getting a really quick swap from those knees. Right, so our next exercise is the A skip. So this is just 2 small bounces on one leg and then swapping hard with the knees, okay? So all these exercises, they work on challenging our posture and our strong positions during sprinting, but under sort of perturbation. So those little bounces, that's sort of driving us to sort of change position, and our job is to maintain our strong postures without failing, okay? That's how it's gonna get us warmed up for really strong accelerations and sprints. Last running drill for today is a boom boom, okay? So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, change, okay? So come back to it on the way back. So he's going 3 bounces on the one leg and strong hard change with those legs. He's absolutely nailing that. Yeah, really good pause there. So once again, just challenging those strong acceleration and sprint positions and making sure we're keeping him throughout, okay? That's what's going to keep us nice and warm for performance in the field. So after that, after we're all ready to go, we're going to start hitting some top speeds, okay? So in cricket, there's going to be times when we're actually running at our full capacity to, say, chase down a ball, run in for a ball, or running in between the wickets. So we need to make sure that our body is ready to hit top speeds and that we're not completely unprepared. That's when we start tearing hammies, we start tearing glutes and stuff like that, because we're not prepared to hit top speeds and we haven't actually prepared our body for it. So the first one we're going to do here is a side step, turning and sprinting through to the rest of the cones, okay? So he's going to run all the way through those cones, try to get as fast as he can, really spread the legs and go. So when you're ready, Nate. Turn, go. Good. So we see now how those acceleration postures and those speed postures that we trained just then are transferring over to that sprint. And making sure, just a quick note, make sure you're walking back in between drills, okay? These are powerful, speedy exercises, okay? So we can't be jogging in between, taking a huff and puff in between them, okay? We need to be fresh and we need to be properly ready to go. Now once he's had a good 2 to 3 minute breather, he's going to go into it as a full-on sprint, okay? So he's just going to try to, from those cones there to about 40 meters, obviously I haven't got 40 meters set up here, but he's going to go for a good 40 to 50 meters, really try to hit top speed, and once we're good to there, we're going to transfer to our actual bowling or our batting drill, okay?